And we're going to throw it on over to Vincent Blair to get us into Vertigo.
Thank you very much, Freya and the desk. I am looking forward to this so much. As they said, our very first team securing their spot in the playoffs. And I don't think it's an unfair statement to say that Spirit and Copenhagen Flames probably weren't expecting to be in this position.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are the two teams. Like quite a few people are like, yeah, they are our 0-3s in the pick'ems, but here we are. One of these teams are going to be making it to the playoffs, and what an opportunity. I think the desk painted a great picture as to what's on the line here. Obviously, it's two Cinderella stories, right? We had Copenhagen Flames as a Cinderella story in the previous major, and now it's Team Spirit. The map pick coming in here for Copenhagen Flames. It is going to be in Vertigo. A fast hit, though, from the Danes, and Patsy immediately forced back early on.
Definitely a player you want to keep an eye on throughout this best of three. Can he perform? Zyphon, though, with the first frag, and now looking for more, and gets it as well with the flank frags. Nikodos, a player that's been a little bit quiet over the duration of the Legend stage, now standing tall and delivering, and puts Magix and Siren in a 2-on-4 post plant. No kits between the two of them, no grenades on top of that, and they've been smoked off on both sides. Surely no real hope of getting this one done. And all four players on the Danish side are healthy. And I think Spirit are liking the idea of just saving. Keep the Kevlar, keep a little bit going forward into the next round.
Yeah, they're going to be going for the face for the Force anyway. So having the Kevlar on Siren Magix and the fact that they haven't taken any damage enables them to go for the head armor as well, just with a $350 investment. So it will indeed be the save for Spirit. Copenhagen Flames, a very fast play. Huge round there from Zyphon. Oh. Siren getting tagged down to 99. I think he took a little bit of damage on his armor as well. That means he won't be able to go for the full armor rebuy. It's all right. Still early days. As the pistol round will go the way of Copenhagen Flames. Spirit have been so very impressive for me, Vince. Just the fact that the youngsters on his team, how they've rebuilt this team from pretty much from scratch, right? With Chopper remaining behind. There was a time where they benched him. They were looking for a new IGL, but he came back again. Magix and Dexter now surprised to see that they are now the veterans of this lineup, considering how new they still are. Roy, big gap in the smoke, will have no trouble finding Patsy. And yet Patsy and Siren, the two new youngsters, Patsy has been incredible. The individual ability of this young gun to just crack open bomb sites, and of course this innate clutch ability of someone as young as Siren. He looks so cool and composed under pressure, but now the pressure is on. That's the thing, when you're at the final hurdle to make it to the playoff stage, will the nerves hold? Copenhagen Flames slowly creeping on up here, and Magix timing doesn't quite pan out for him. This might be yet another save here for the side of Spirit. They have the Scout, the 5.7s to work with, and they just might opt to stick onto it. Hold on to Chopper finding Roy. Suddenly, they might be tempted to go for this Vince, but they have no kits. Just a one nade and a maul and a smoke, and you can see them slowly peeling away. They know they're going to be going against the AK-47s and of course the MAC-10 in the hands of Hooksy, so they opt to hold on to the weaponry for round number 3 for Copenhagen Flames. A couple of very comfortable rounds to start things off here.
Yeah, Chopper also has his sidearm, so he can drop that 5.7 to one of his teammates and keep on with the MAC-10, as you don't want the aim punch to be as much of an issue. Additionally, 5.7 in the hands of Dexter, so if all three players do survive, then you're looking at a pretty interesting prospect into the next round. But Copenhagen Flames have already dialed in their second round to kick things off. And just to go back to a point that you raised before, we were fortunate enough to cast Spirit, I should say, their first game of the tournament in the Legend stage. That was against Furia. A lot of people thought that Spirit would kind of get battered, honestly, that Furia were the heavy favorites. And Patsy was one of their best performing players on that day. As you mentioned, tons of clutches, tons of impact, a player you don't normally look at to be posting up the big numbers, and yet he held fast. One of these caveats that we've thrown in many times now with Spirit over the Challenger stage and the Legend stage is like, yeah, sure, they're a good team, they've got tons of experience in terms of playing at sort of like tier 2, tier 3 even, but can they get it done on this stage? And they keep answering with a resounding yes. These guys may be young, but they don't seem to have any nerves or any kind of worries. Thing is, this is an entirely different ball game now, Blay. You're one game away from playoffs.
I know, it is so much on the line for both the teams. Copenhagen Flames, remember, they were 2-1 up in the Legend stage in the previous major, and they were not able to win that best of 3, which would have put them in the arena. So that's going to be in the back of the minds. And bear in mind, the team that loses here, they still have to win. Another best of 3, and it's only going to get harder. Look at how a number of teams still languishing in the 1-1 and 0-2 situation or position, right? So it's not going to be easy at all. And to see Hooksy creeping on in, but Chopper would have saved Mac-10, able to find one. Patsy's well with a 5-7, and suddenly Spirit able to deal quite a bit of damage, looking for more. Roy will be taken down, and suddenly Spirit with the advantage. However, the B bomb site is bereft of any CT presence, so it's going to be a free bomb plant. And all 4 members of Spirit have taken quite a bit of damage.
They have, and their weaponry is far from ideal, and both players on the Danes are full HP, so there's no real insta-kill potential other than maybe a scout to the dome, but a damage now whittling away on Zyphon, and they're looking to just collapse outside, explode back out onto the side here. Generators see 3 players all clumped up, but 2 frags go down, and now Yabi, who was a monster in their previous game, has to stand big again, and he will deliver. Only Dexter remains with the scout playing possum, ring around the rosy, and Yabi is going to be the last man standing. A 2v4 clutch. It was a doable clutch, but Yabi played that one perfectly. And we saw a beautiful pistol clutch that he pulled off earlier in this tournament on Ancient. Just has ice through his veins, showing us again why he's such a solid player.
Yeah, a very solid round though for Spirit, all things considered, right? They were working around some of the saved pistols from the 5.7s in the previous round, dealing a lot of damage. And even though Copenhagen Flames are able to snatch away the round from Spirit, it's an early sign of how dangerous this team can be. Great flashbang though, but everyone's blinded, and Siren, Yabi rather, being very lucky to stay alive. And Nate as a follow-up, dealing even further damage to his Hooksy and Nikodos, but Magic's getting maybe a little too over-eager. Siren looking to trade, which he will indeed, but the peaks come in, and simultaneously almost 3 members of Copenhagen Flames, of Spirit fall. Patty and Dexter looking to positions right now. Vince, this one's a done deal. They're just going to have to hold on to the weapons unless they can get an early kill, but it looks like that is not going to transpire.
And it's not a worthwhile endeavor considering their money behind this and the rest of the players. They get clobbered in this round from Copenhagen Flames. This is the Flames' choice of map, obviously, and we know they're a very capable team here, so not worth pushing the panic button just yet on Spirit. But there's no doubting that in terms of these early trades, it's been scrappy, it's been kind of messy at times, but the Copenhagen Flames have consistently got the better of these trades, and there won't be a saved rifle. Patsy on the receiving end of Roy's AK-47, and that puts Dexter into a very awkward spot. It'd be worth throwing a couple weapons away here, honestly, for Copenhagen Flames to deal with the AWP. They don't need to. Zyphon just nails him straight away, pulls off the 4-1 scoreline, and straight off the bat, Spirit are feeling the heat. They've called their first tactical timeout in round 5.
Copenhagen Flames showing why they went for this map pick, and we did have a little bit more of a focus on the map vetoes after what transpired in the second game here from the analyst desk, and Maui was a little bit surprised that the second map pick coming in from Spirit was Mirage, right? And even Vertigo. It's a map that both the teams do play, Spirit having a 75% win rate on it in the past 3 months, which is better than that as a Copenhagen Flames on 65%, but it's a number of maps played. Copenhagen Flames have played it 17 times in the past 3 months. It is their most played map. It's a comfort pick for them. And of course, for the side of Spirit, they've only won 3 out of 4. Suddenly, this percentages, it makes, it's different meaning now altogether. So obviously for Copenhagen Flames, they would be the favorites coming into this, and they're showing why. Clean round there, able to take away the weaponry which Spirit were trying to save. And thus far, we really haven't seen much from the Spirit side. Although we all know how dangerous they can be. Dexter, he had a couple of quiet games, but you also know, especially on the CD side, we'd like to call him as the CIS device. So very smart as a player, so very precise with a sniper. But right now, no snipers, no rifles, no SMGs, just the pistols. And Copenhagen Flames being very methodical here, as Yabi is going to team up with his teammates to find Siren early on in the round.
Smokes cordoning off the elevator's position. 2 CTs were sat behind there with 5.7s. The timing nearly working out in Patsy's favor, but Nikodos just keeping an eye on his teammates' backs, watching their 6s, and in doing so, Spirit, even after their tactical timeout, it feels like it was more called for the next round, not necessarily this one, or to try and figure out their financial situation. It is going to be a 5-0 lead. That much is guaranteed, and when you look at the fact that there's not a huge amount of fragging going on the side of Spirit. This has been a 5-0 lead that's come very comfortably to the Flames. Dexter hasn't had AWPs necessarily, but he's only got 1 frag. Magic's down at 0, and I remember vividly the last time that we casted Spirit against Furia, it was those 2 players that had a very slow start, but it was Patsy and Chopper actually were fragging hard. Those guys haven't quite shown up yet either, so this has been a super slow start for Spirit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And Copenhagen Flames, as we mentioned earlier, back of the mines. This is, at least on paper, like we said, right? They were 2-1 up in the Legend stage in the previous major. They were not able to make it to the playoffs in the arena. And right now, on paper, and honestly, whichever metric you use, this is their best opportunity to make it to the playoffs. Because every team they're going to be, if they lose this game, the teams they're going to be facing off, remember how many teams are still around. G2s, your Cloud9s, your Phases, you don't want to be going up against them when it comes to crunch time. So there's a great chance for them. Right now, Copenhagen Flames, they are indeed on fire. Siren, that was some nifty movement, man. He was blinded, but great movement to stay alive and not fall down to his demise.
It reminded me of one of those YouTube videos where you see people climbing up skyscrapers and stuff. You just have this second-hand like nervousness. It's okay though. Siren was able to parkour his way into safety. We have had 1 death in the Challenger stage. I think it was Cello fell to his death for MIBR. He got flashed and then just fell off the edge into his abyss. But Copenhagen Flames on fire, as you can see at the top of your screen, 5 rounds in a row, and no early casualties on either side. So the Flames have already made moves up on the scaffolding.
Yeah, and even the Spirit had, he had dropped down towards B stairs. Now they've relinquished control to B bomb site, so Spirit don't really have too much information. They do have a 4-man stack here towards the A bomb site, leaving Magix all by his lonesome towards B. Still 55 seconds, re-aggression coming out from Spirit, but Copenhagen Flames, they tuck away. They don't offer any vision here. There is Roy, though. He can get caught off guard, and indeed he will. Chopper finds him, and look at him, Siphon. They don't even trade. And that means Spirit are thinking this might be a B play. And look at the rotation as well. This is so smart. They're even selling the fake as well, man. This could be huge, but they're not able to find Chopper, and now Chopper knows what the play is.
Yeah, he saw 2 plays, so those rotational plays now come back on towards the site, and there is Dexter. AWP in hand, dealing the fatal damage, and finally maybe Spirit are about to get themselves in amongst the action, or perhaps I spoke too soon, as Dexter gets clapped down to 24 HP. There's enough time for the bomb plant 3-on-3, and a rotational player also coming back over towards help on the T side. Hooksy sprays down, but Yabi may not be in close enough proximity. They're taking their sweet time, though. They don't know that he's this far away from the site. And Yabi, who's clutched so many times in this event, will not add another to the mantle. And finally, Spirit get their success.
That was well called indeed by the side of Copenhagen Flames. Chopper, though, just jump spotting from the sandbags. He was making sure, even though we've rotated, we're pivoting a number of players back towards the B bomb site. And Copenhagen Flames, that was just a great call, right? They don't trade Roy on purpose. They're able to send a couple of players towards the B bomb site to try and fake out to draw out the rotation from the side of Spirit. But then good composure from Chopper, immediately not opting to take the fight, falling back towards the bomb site. The trades were solid. Dexter chipping away a frag of his own. And that is indeed going to be the first round on board here for the CIS side. It's kind of crazy how young this team is, right? And they take this best 3. They're the youngest team in the entire major, Vince. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, they might be the youngest team in the entire RMR as well. Out of 52 teams who came to play, an average age of, like, I think 20.6 if I'm not mistaken. And at every single step, they have defined people's expectations, or rather lack of expectations. Now one final hurdle before they can play in the arena later next week, and what an experience it would be for some of these young players here.
So I can help you out with that, Blair.
All right.
Magix is 18, Dexter's 20, Chopper's the oldest player at 25, Siren 19, and Patsy 18.
So the average age without Chopper is 19.
It's crazy. And even Chopper's considered like a really old head. He's only 25.
Man, compared to us.
Yeah, he's a whippersnapper. He's a young man.
Out with the old, in with the new. 5-1 the score line. Copenhagen Flames Still, 5 rounds is still a substantial lead, and for Spirit, at least some respite, Vince. But bear in mind, they did lose 3 players, right? So they would have to rebuy all the equipment, a couple of guns getting dropped as well. They at least have the AWP in the very, very capable hands of Dexter. A1s and an AK-47, and of course the one FAMAS in the hands of Chopper. As you see a little bit of mid-contestation here. Roy looking to try and find a pick here. Chopper not able to peer down and get any vision because of the T-smoke. And slowly but surely, Copenhagen Flames moving up. Patsy, a dangerous game, and he should be dead to rights. He should be dead to rights, and indeed he is, but not before he finds one.
Ooh, Roy, that's a rough spray. He's the kind of guy you're expecting to take that and with ease, and that's an off play. Oh. Dexter will punish Huxi and Zyphon as a result. Yabi, nice kill onto Siren, but position known, down to 48 HP. Molotov at least forces away Magix, but it's not as if he has the bomb. It's not as if he can divert this traffic on the B side. They have the bomb down, and Spirit have seen this. So Yabi's real mission here, considering his team has enough to buy again, is to do as much damage as possible on the inevitable way out. The smoke will allow him safe passage, but Magix removes his head, and that's the second consecutive round now on the side of Spirit.
Yeah, firstly, Patsy staying alive for as long as he did. There was a great flashbang from Copenhagen Flames, and he finds one. Good trade from Chopper as well. And then, of course, Dexter. Such a safe pair of hands with the AWP. And why I love watching him op is that he makes it look easy. You watch someone like Monacy op, you're like, yeah, I'm never going to be able to do that. I'm never going to be able to recreate that. But Dexter, he's just incredibly precise crosser placement, great decision making. The second kill especially so very quick. And as you pointed out, Vince, even though Yabi gets a kill towards mid, they knew exactly where he was. The bomb was dropped. Spirit, they string 2 rounds together. They do again suffer a couple of casualties, so the money is still not in a very healthy place here. The second shot especially, he knew where he was able to triangulate where Huxi was, using quick mental maths and the tracers of the bullets. That's a long way away, Vince.
It's making me a little bit uneasy.
Making you feel a little bit of vertigo?
Just a tad. Flashes and smokes over from Nikodos as he looks to try and push in, and it's Roy who gets 2. That flash on point. Magix and Siren fully blinded. And Copenhagen Flames in the first 5-10 seconds of the round already have this in the palm of their hands.
That was a run boost. That was a run boost alongside a flashbang. And Spirit, they had no idea that was coming. Brilliant stuff, but Chopper tucked in. He's blinded, but he gets the kill. Now with 3v3, looking for more, but he will finally fall.
It may have been in the palm of the hands of Copenhagen Flames, but that hand has been slapped away. And Spirit trying to regain what was once theirs. Grenade down, want their 3rd in a row. They really bring themselves back into this. It would break down the finances as well. Just a knee popping round Dexter. That shot looked incredibly close to nailing on. But instead, Patsy's going to get caught on the side. Still sprays in, still deals with Roy. But there's too many players to deal with. And Copenhagen Flames have stopped the 2-round rot.
What a round from Copenhagen Flames. I would like to see the replay over there. I'm quite sure, yeah, there we go. It had to be the run boost. It was so very quick, even though we missed it initially. The flashbang as well, the timing, everything was perfection there from Nikodos and Roy. And Copenhagen Flames. Quick reply back, Vince. They took a little bit of tactical timeout, and that's what they find. For Spirit, though, because they did manage to string a couple of rounds together. Even though they did suffer a few casualties, they will have enough to eke out a decent buy. But you can see the stock lack of utility, right? 3 smokes and 2 flashbangs, all they have. Not a singular kit either. As one of the smokes... Oh, there's a failed Molotov. That's going to allow Patsy to stay alive for a while more.
That will allow him to stay alive. And yes, he's going to eat some shrapnel, and it's going to draw out 2 grenades, but that's extra grenades that could have been used on the site later on.
It's still a confirmed kill though, right? You'll take that. You'll take that. Even though, sure, you have to use it as a couple of nades right there early on. The fact they take care of Patsy, who we know can be so deadly early on without even having to take a sliver of damage. Copenhagen Flames are going to be pretty comfortable with that. While we have 3 players over here towards A, deploying a few smokes and drawing out the rotation from the CTs, we also have simultaneously a couple of them slowly starting to creep up towards the B stairs. They slowly start to fade away. Nikodos making a lot of noise alone, but look at the forward positioning from the CTs.
Dexter up on the boxes, Chopper up close. Crane. Oh, that flick from Dexter. You're speaking about how it looks easy on a lot of times. That didn't look easy to me. That was rapid response. But it is all a bait across on the A side, and now B is being aggressed on. Magic's eating multiple flashes, but still standing his ground. He will not be able to deny this bomb plant, but he needs to stay alive for the rest of his team to build off, because they do have a player advantage. Hooksy takes a stray bullet to the dome. He will be standing, but only just propped up by the box. Otherwise, he would be falling down, and Magix will finish off what he started, putting more pressure on Yabi, more pressure on Zyphon, and they need to strike hard. First frag goes in, but a 1-for-1 will not be good enough. There is a clear angle across for Zyphon, but considering there's an AWP, there's 2 rifles in play, it was never looking doable. And with the kit, it should be a comfortable defuse. Even without the kit, it would have been fine. And Spirit will get their third after all.
Yeah, finding the first kill over there, and then yes, Hooksy getting trapped on the B bomb site. He got the bomb down, but he was such an uncomfortable position. Great work from Spirit there, keeping 3 alive as well. But yeah, that flick shot from Dexter to open things up, Vince. Yeah, here we go again. This was filthy. This was not easy. This was not easy at all. Oh man, so precise, so clean. And Spirit, they get their third. Still trailing by 3 rounds, but looking at the finances of Copenhagen Flames, that's a good opportunity to try and get to number 4. Attack timeout, the second for the Danes getting called as well. We could see hero Forces. All right, Jabby's got to go for the AK-47. Nikodos had cash to work with as well, so they're going to go for the force buy. And I can see why. You look at the money for Spirit, it is in a very precarious position. Dexter's the only one with some funds remaining in his savings account. The rest of them, sub $750 on all the other 4 members. Magic's, in fact, with 0 of his own. So Copenhagen Flames, they're going to go for the force. They're going to try and break the money for the CIS side.
This could break the spine of the CT side as well. Finances, momentum, confidence, everything on the line. And Copenhagen Flames early on doing a little bit of damage, but they're also finishing off the kill onto Roy in return. Our Spirit, a huge kill. The talisman figure has been vested. Magic's able to scamper away and baits Yabi out into the open. Siren will help his teammate out on B. And those partners have had a lot of impact early on. This force buy so far has really not paid off whatsoever. They're going to need kills and need them right now. Dexter missing a shot that probably should be connecting. He gets punished, and there is a way back in now. Although Nikodos has been sent packing by Patsy. Hooksy does not have the bomb here either, Blair. And against 4 players and a minute on the clock, it's hard to see how he's going to snake his way into this round.
Yeah, Spirit have done a great job just swatting away this force buy from Copenhagen Flames. It was imperative they win this, and they managed to do so. Still a bit of time for Hooksy to work with, but he's lost all control of the bomb. He's lost control of virtually everything right now. All he's hoping for is maybe find a player here. But Magix, he will not falter. Clean round from Spirit. They survive the scare of the force buy from Copenhagen Flames, and that's going to force the Danes to go for an eco right now. Maybe a couple of pistols coming out, maybe a little bit of utility. Patsy, though, just completely doming the player at mid. And Spirit now 4-6 the deficit, down to just 2 rounds. And you can see for the side of Copenhagen Flames, it is going to be just, just measly pistols coming out. It's update on Stream B. This is the elimination game, Vince. And Vitality up 1-0. NA's hopes and dreams looking a little grim right now.
Yeah, I think honestly going into that game, even though Vitality have been looking pretty lackluster, as we're already talking over what it effectively is an eco bash. Although it's been a bit lopsided, a bit more uncomfortable than Spirit were expecting, that's for sure. Dexter on 23 has to pull the plug and get out of there, but there are reinforcements on the horizon, one of which is Siren, as he lays to waste both Nikodos and Yabi. I think most people expected that Vitality would probably have a fairly straightforward game against Liquid.
I don't know. I still believe Liquid could make things a bit competitive. Okay. I do believe the first map was the pick coming in for Vitality. So, but still, if you're the Danish-French side, you're going to be feeling pretty comfortable right now, battling for survival. And remember, it's Shoxy against his old team as well. There's a lot of interesting storylines in that matchup. But right now, we have this particular Cinderella story going on in front of us here. Who is going to ride that pumpkin cart chariot back home?
Chariot, yeah, I think Chariot works.
Yeah. Well, here we go. Dexter aggressively out in the open. He is distracted by the player up right, but he's not going to miss his shot. Finds Nikodos, but Hooksy finds Patsy in the meantime.
That 1-4 is going to open up ramp. But it will be closed off momentarily as utilities now being deployed on the side of Spirit. Dexter is keeping his angles on the approach covered. Problem with this position, though, is it's susceptible to getting flashed and naded out. And yes, he will have to pull out of there. A wise decision. There's still plenty of teammates that he can bank off and try and work back into this site with. Yabi, though, will be getting the bomb finalized. Molotov on top of the boxes, extinguishes in the smoke, which was still up. And now Spirit, they have some flashes, but not a great deal else to play with.
This retake's not going to be easy. Yeah, just a couple of... They do have the kit and the smoke, so that's something they could utilize. But look at Roy's position here, up close and personal.
Gets completely destroyed by Magic's Chopper and Siren. All come in and Yabi's gone down. He is the clutch master on Copenhagen Flames, but this was too tall a task. And Spirit, after being so far behind in this game, have brought it back to 6 apiece.
Vince, it was a 4v4. 6 people died in a span of 2 seconds. That was so very quick. I don't envy our observers in that round, but what a brutal retake from Spirit. Was looking a little dicey there, but now the strong 4 together. Also, to just correct myself right away, that was actually Liquid's map pick. Liquid just got absolutely dumpstered by Vitality on their map pick, so now... Uh-oh. NA fans mauling.
Yeah, just to confirm, that's right, it was Mirage. 16-7, and next up is Dust 2.
Yikes.
That is on the B stream, if you want to head over there. But of course, if you want to see which of these teams will be progressing, stick with us as Dexter is being pushed down. This is a back against the wall job. That's why you don't typically see Opus play on that side.
Yep. And especially against the pistols, but they're not going to be respecting you too much. Here they come creeping on up. AWP retrieved as well. Roy finds Patsy. This is looking rough here for the side of Spirit.
It's looking grim, but Siren's been trying to alleviate some of the pressure that's been building up. The sandbag wielding Hooksy catches a stray to the head, and that puts him down for the count. There's still a lot of time to play with, though. Bomb under control. Chopper's on the prowl. Flash is good. The follow-up damage isn't quite there, but Chopper finally gets the job done. It was scrappy. It was a little bit precarious, but Spirit for the first time lead as they pick up 5 on the bounce.
That was looking so scary for Spirit, right? As you pointed out, Vince, Dexter in a position, maybe not expecting Copenhagen Flames to disrespect the utility and the smoke for Copenhagen Flames, so that was just the light investment, the pistols, right? So just come charging in. He's good for one, gets immediately taken down. Patsy gets caught on top of the boxes. Roy pushing up deep, making it expensive. But Spirit, they hold on. They're now on fire. 5 in a row now for the CIS side. It was looking like Copenhagen Flames all the way, but Spirit showing why they are a force to contend with. By coming in now for Copenhagen Flames, penultimate round of the first half of this first map, the pick of the Flames. Slow things down a bit. Zyphon once more going to be the lurk towards mid. Not assisted by anyone, but he's going to announce his presence with a smoke and a molly here towards the window position, and with that Chopper dropping down, being very aggressive.
Chopper looking to corrode the aggression up on the ramps. No one checks the angle. 1 kill and a headshot on top of it. He has done so much work.
And yeah, Zyphon now trying to find something, trying to cut off the rotation, but they need to be wary of that smoke. Dexter up close and personal, a whiff shot. He will be provided another opportunity, but Yabi finds him. It's all on Patsy to hold on to the A bomb side, but he will fall as well. It's a 2v2. Make that all on Magic's now in a 1 versus 2 against Zyphon and Yabi.
He's being flanked, though. He's being flanked, and he whips out his sidearm and knife at the worst possible moment. And Zyphon will capitalize. Puts an end to the streak on top of it, and we are all even again. On top of that as well, going into this round, they'd won 6 out of 7, Spirit. The turnaround was incredible. I've got to say, though, as good as Dexter is, and he's already landed some crazy shots, he's playing a lot of very forward positions that gives him very little room for error.
Yeah, I won't lie, I haven't been really a fan of some of the positions, like he's pointed out, Dexter's been playing, where it's kind of like a one-and-done spot, and in that case, you need to hit his shots, right? And if you whiff it, you're kind of done for. Final round here, Copenhagen Flames looking to take the lead. Roy once again creeping up to the scaffolding. Patsy in front of the smoke.
Oh, he just gets obliterated by Hooksy. These are the kind of angles that you can't really retort off. There is a flank coming down and back, though, from Siren, but this is really only as valuable as their defense on A. If A crumbles, this flank will have very little value.
They're trying to utilize all the utility they have early on, but still so much time for Copenhagen Flames to work with. They can delay this. Finally, they're going to punch in the numbers. Bomb will be planted, and there are no nades, no incendiaries to keep them at bay as Nikodos finds Dexter. The flick will miss its mark.
And Siren's going to get spotted. There's multiple players watching down there. The flank has been dealt with, and that was the main power play. The spike that Spirit had up their sleeve has now been laid on the table and does nothing. They need Chopper, they need Magics to go above and beyond. Chopper last man, but not for long as Nikodos lands 2 back-to-back. He's had a bit of a slow tournament thus far, but he's really stepping up now when it counts. Copenhagen Flames lead going into the second half of their choice.
Dexter not really having the impact we're used to seeing from him thus far on the CD side. For Copenhagen Flames, though, they're going to be pretty reasonably happy with the way things have played out thus far, Vince. Taking the lead as well. And despite a little bit of resurgence from Spirit, where they strung, I think, 5 or 6 rounds together, Copenhagen Flames able to finish off the half with the 1-round lead. Now on the CD side, Yabi has just been Mr. Impact throughout, and this is the young star we look to, right? When you saw Copenhagen Flames make their kind of like big stage debut, so to speak, in the previous Stockholm Major, it was Roy. It was mainly Roy, but now Nikodos has woken up with the AWP. He's been pretty much, in my opinion, perhaps the best Danish operator, if you ask me, and Yabi has been the able right-hand man for Roy. They have looked deadly, and Yabi has been incredible. Even Zyphon as well, a lot of impact kills from him, especially in the mid-look. Somehow able to get that flank on. We saw the way they won the pistol round, predicated off Zyphon coming in from behind and getting a couple of kills. Now Spirit, what do they have in store for us here? Chopper has been the hero for them in a number of rounds with his A bomb site. It's Patsy leading the way, slowly creeping up the scaffolding. He's got Siren alongside him. And one thing about Spirit, where they're really good at, Vince, is this trading.
That's a very good point. They're typically on point with their trades, but they run in. Head height and Roy just decapitates all the oncomers. Finally he goes down, but he's bought up enough time for the rest of his team to get here, laying them to rest, putting them in the dirt. It will be a post plant. That much has already been dialed in. And Dexter and Chopper now have to turn their hand to a 2-on-4. 3 of the contingents are at the back room, but the last is on elevators.
And they have to be worried about a flank as well. There is no flank, but they don't know that.
They don't know that information, and therefore they're going to play aggressive, and they're going to walk in. Dexter gets 3! Runs through and just blends them with the Glock. And now Hooksy gets completely crushed by Chopper. What a ridiculous round from Dexter.
That is actually insane from Dexter. We said he was having a quiet game in the first half. But what a way to turn things around. A 4 versus 2. They knew they needed to go for a play, Vince. They knew they needed to do something. They could just wait on the bomb side, waiting to get pushed by the CTs. And he pushes in 3, well, I wouldn't say clean headshots, but he gets the job done. The Glock up close and personal. And Spirit, they win the pistol round. Force buy will not be coming in from Copenhagen Flames. They opt to wield just the USPs and even a P2K in the hands of Nikodos. Going for a bit of a stack towards A little bit of a cheeky boost as well, and doing a bit of damage to the Chopper. Chopper will fall, but Dexter will reply back. A nice spray there, 4K. Bit of an eco hunt. He will eventually fall, and the AK will be retrieved by Yabi. And all of a sudden, it is still a 1v2. That is a lot of damage being dealt towards Spirit, considering it was only default pistols for the CT, Vince. This is massive damage already.
This is massive. And he's still in with a shot. Molotov, AK, 17 kills, but Siren will splatter him with the Galil headshot. No armor to protect him. A valiant effort, but ultimately it was too much. And you go back to that Dexter play, you go back to that pistol. How important, how impactful could that play be in the grand scheme of this best of 3 and to potentially getting Spirit into the playoffs of the Major?
That was, again, even though we just said it was just an eco bash with the AK-47, the 4 kills he got there, he gets taken down after he gets just a 1 or 2 kills. Suddenly, this was a round which could have easily spiraled out of control for Spirit. But a solid start here. Again, It's not an elimination game, but a winner goes through to the playoffs. There is a lot on the line for both these teams. Magic has snuck his way in. Yabby waiting behind the smoke. He's going to be expecting this is the question. Magic's clearing it out. The timing here is insane. Meantime, Hoaxy finds Siren. Magix takes on Yabby, and now all of a sudden Beast is in control with the T's. However, they have capitulated at mid.
Yeah, Roy's kill in the back was so important, and it allows Zyphon to focus his attention onto B stairs as opposed to being caught in two mines. Roy's spot there is so huge, and although Chopper still stands, still has the bomb and over a minute on the clock, there's 4 players for him to deal with, and they are encircling him. Even if Hoaxy goes down to his hands, which is a big if, and doesn't end up happening, there was always going to be counter-fragging potential. 9-9, and this is where those 4 kills they got in the previous round, Blair, catches them off guard.
Absolutely. This is when we see how much of damage has been dealt to the economy.
Oof. This is grim.
Yeah, that's not great. We will see a couple of pistols getting upgraded. Just the one pistol, just the one Deacon in the hands of Dexter. He did have a little bit of extra cash afforded because of the multi-kills he got in the 16th and the 17th round. But yeah, this one should be just an easy round for the side of Copenhagen Flames. Don't see them really flubbing this one. But this is a very closely contested affair here, Vince. You can never count out Spirit. How many times have you done so? And how many times did it prove us wrong? Sure, they don't play this map as much as Copenhagen Flames do. Copenhagen Flames, you can clearly see on the T side especially, they had so many cool little plays. You saw the Roy run boost as well coming in, the way they were able to crack open the B defense. They have more tricks up their sleeves. But Spirit, even though they don't show anything too fancy, they can be deadly. Dexter looking to take the duel, and he will find Zyphon. That is huge.
You don't need all of the frills and the fine trimmings when you have such a solid powerhouse group of players that are capable on a dime of just flicking heads off. As Dexter has proven once again, that grenade is money, it's damage. Patsy dropped down to 28. I think, honestly, Chopper was lucky to survive that on 5 HP. But all 5 players still stand, and Yabby now will have his work cut out for him as he moves back to the back pillar. Many adversaries coming up, and the A1S sprays down. Yabby will finally fall on his sword, but he can do so with a smile on his face. Oh, Dexter's wiped off that smile from not just him, but Hoaxy and Roy. And with 25 seconds left, this round is not over just yet. He also has the bomb under control, but no idea as to where Nikodos is coming in. And Dexter could be on the brink of something spectacular. Nikodos just has to wait, bide his time. The bomb has been faked. Dexter still thinks that Nikodos is up on the con side, and Nikodos will spoil the party, but that is such a valiant effort from Dexter. He can hold his head high. That was nearly something truly spectacular.
Dexter is an animal. He has just come into his own on the T side. What is that second shot? He's doing his best Apex cosplay and making it look even better. Holy hell, Vince, that was what, $700 investment. $700 and take away 4 guns. Look at the money for Copenhagen Flames. Sure, they get the buy, but they have nothing left in the coffers. Now the buy coming in. Patsy found by Roy, spamming away through the smoke. Early casualty for Team Spirit. And you can see Yabby once more. They like playing aggressive here towards the stairs position, getting the stairs control, allowing them to pivot a few more members towards A. And you can see the re-aggression coming back again. They found a first kill onto Patsy, and now it is going to be Nikodos. Big gap in the smoke. He could find a kill here. Oh, I thought that would hit.
I must have gone through the legs. That was super close to connecting. Not any damage was inflicted, so an outright miss. Copenhagen Flames, though, with a player advantage as Patsy went down earlier, still in the ascendancy. But it's important that they maintained that, considering the amount of economic damage Dexter did in the previous round. 4 lives were deemed forfeit. No players over $1,000, with a couple at $0 before the end of this round. They need this round cleanly. And Copenhagen Flames are about to come under heavy duress Spirit looking to push in. Good counter utility. Molotov down. Bomb's been spilled as well. Yabi had to come out into the open. He's used Molotov anyway. 30 seconds to play with, but all the Spirit are clumped up together. For all they know, they're being flanked, and that may force them in to an aggressive play. They've got to get aggressive. 20 seconds now coming up on the clock. Huxi is the player that's coming around the back, and as long as eyes are down there, he's going to have a deal that he has to try and pass, but instead, they look away purely based off the timing. And with 10 seconds, I don't think they can get their way onto the side. I don't think they can brute force their way in. Copenhagen Flames live through and take an 11-9 lead, but that was a matter of milliseconds.
CSGO, Vince, that is so crushing. They were waiting for the flank. And half a second before he steps into his crosshairs, the player turns away. And from then on, it's just everything just spiraling for the side of Team Spirit. Copenhagen Flames, though. Hard-fought round. Come on top. Getting some of the... Copenhagen Flames have actually had the edge when it comes to the opening duels thus far in this series. I do believe, I think they had 12, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, able to really capitalize on it, losing Patsy early on. And Patsy hasn't, especially on his T side, usually... When we saw him on Nuke, for example, he was getting so many openings, right, being set up by his teammates. Thus far, he has been a little quiet. Not really having the impact we're used to seeing from this youngster. But then we have the veterans in the form of Dexter and Chopper delivering in spades. Right now, just going to be, once more, the upgraded pistols. But we've seen what one Deagle can do in the hands of Dexter. This time, they got a couple. Come on, guys, give him the Deag. Magics, come on.
You know you want to.
Yeah, just give it to him.
I think, unfortunately, though, this is where Copenhagen Flames, under normal circumstances, and this is anything but normal, but this is where you expect them to extend their lead and start to really take a stranglehold over this game. They still have to pass this round, though, as you highlighted, and they're giving him a couple of chances with the Deagle here, Zypher. I'm surprised he's peeking out this much. Siren, in the meanwhile, though, does get wide swung from Huxi, and there it's more like it. Copenhagen Flames now putting their foot to the throat of Spirit and not allowing them any wiggle room at all.
Yeah, this is just about delaying the inevitable. Not really finding anything. Not even a point of damage being taken thus far by Falms, as Roy likes to call themselves. I love Roy's Twitter account. Yeah, if you don't follow it, you should.
Any casualties come down, not looking good. Dexter takes a stray bullet, as does Magix, and Copenhagen Flames. Not only do they win the round, they win it with all 5 players standing, and therefore their money is starting to build up nicely. They still retain an AK, they still have an AWP, but here comes Spirit. There is, however, 4 rounds unanswered.
Yeah, and that is worrying, isn't it? Copenhagen Flames on the CD side, ever since they've got their hands on the rifles, it's been a stranglehold. Bomb hasn't even been planted here for Spirit. They need to at least start to show some signs of life here. And like, sure, we saw the heroics from Dexter, right? We saw how deadly he could be with the Deagle, almost coming down to the 1v1. And apart from that, and that wasn't just a force fire. Apart from that, it has been, oh, what a peek from Roy. The timing on that was pristine. Huxi's there as well. Ooh. And look at the flashbacks. He is burning alive, but he will stay alive at 21 HP. The follow-up nade will finally find him, but he has dealt so much damage.
All this utility damage that's been inflicted. Dexter limping across with 23 HP. Nikodos now coming down. Big entry from Chopper. And another one forthcoming as Nikodos just walked straight through. Had no idea that Siren could be at the top of scaffolding, which seems like a massive oversight to me. And now it puts Siphon and Yabi in an awkward position. Siphon's getting aggressive, all at head height, tries to pivot in, nearly picks up 3, considering Dexter's 4 hit points across to his side. And now Yabi can hear they're going in for the plant, but Chopper safeguarding, bastioning him his bomb planter, affording them the luxury of another round. That was so close to going awry, though.
Oh, absolutely, and I'm surprised he wasn't able to catch, I do believe it was Nikodos crossing onto the side. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you that this seemed a little discombobulated. The fact that they weren't expecting the player to push up, and it's Chopper finding 3 crucial kills. Zyphen doing his best to push on out, be aggressive, try and potentially catch a tease off guard, and considering how low one of the players were. I do believe it was Dexter actually. He was so very low on health, but he will fall. Dexter now with the AWP having the spawn, looking to find something, but Zyphen able to find Magisk and almost escapes, but Dexter with the wall bang will ensure the trade will take place. And with that, equilibrium maintained early on here for both the sides. A bit of a passive hold. They haven't really shown much towards the ramp position. They've thrown the lurk smoke, have Spirit, but haven't really taken advantage of it. And Copenhagen Flames for the time being, they're respecting it. You can see the number of bodies from Copenhagen Flames towards the mid-B bomb site area, leaving Nikodos all alone. The AWP in his hands, crosshairs trained at the bottom of ramp.
Smoke is down on ramp, but it does not cover the scaffolding angle. Nikodos tries to flick down, misses the shot, but there is a smoke to afford him a little bit of safe passage and stall the Spirit push that little bit longer. A few more seconds are bought, but in doing so, Siren tries to make inroads out of middle, gaining a little bit of map control in the process, and Spirit with a late flank, looking to turn their attention over on the B site.
Copenhagen Flames playing with a two-man mobile unit towards mid. They've been pivoting back and forth. Now we can see after a little bit of pressure towards A, they're falling back towards mid, and that's going to catch Siren off guard. So lucky to stay alive in 21 HP, but they have the read. They're looking at the time. They know it's going to be B, and 3 CTs lie in wait.
They need entries. They need them right now. A hot commodity, and out comes a barrage of bullets, but it's from Yabi. Once again at the back pillar. 13 seconds to go. Spram from Patsy. He's trying to scramble to the site, but he has to fall back, and there's only 8 seconds left. They're going to save. Spirit, they went for a late flank. They changed their attention, they changed their mind last second, and it is completely backfired.
33 HP combined remaining for those 3 players, Vince. They knew they had to give this one up. They knew they had to give this one up, and it's fair enough. They have enough money to force out a buy. But Copenhagen Flames, they're just having the read, just being a couple of steps ahead of the rotations from the side of Spirit. And as you pointed out earlier, that the two-man mobile unit towards mid, right? They were early when you saw the initial contact being made towards B. When Dexter gets a trade towards the B stairs, they aggressively kept the 2 players at the mid position towards B, supporting Yabi. And then the moment Nikodos sees someone, they immediately pivot back, but not playing too reactive, getting ahead of what Spirit were throwing at them. Great stuff coming out from Copenhagen Flames. This CD side, especially the buy rounds, apart from the one round which Spirit have been able to steal away from them, the Danes are looking very, very solid indeed. Yabi, 24 kills. Top fragging in the server. The only player above 20. Dexter and Chopper in the meantime for the T's. And once more Yabi and Zyphen grouping up together. Once again, they go back to this control. Magix is aware of this.
Magix goes down to Yabi, and even if the kill was forthcoming on Magix, I feel like he just gets traded out anyway from Zyphen. Another freebie frag, 25 and 15. The young gun, the young star finds himself in, and Copenhagen Flames have stolen away a life as they reap another soul in round 24. No damage inflicted to the rest of Spirit, but there's a gap in the smoke, but Nikodos misses. Fortunately, though, he is avenged by Roy, who will relinquish the life of Patsy. The Spirit slow things down, but they are taking a bit of control over scaffolding. Dexter gets spotted, sprayed through, and Roy gets his second of the round. It seems disjointed again from Spirit. As they move in one by one, they're taking a ton of damage. Finally something to get excited about on the side of Spirit, though. Chopper does put down one of these defenders, but he's only joined by a 25 hit point Siren, who's had a bit of a slow game as of yet, and it's up to the IGL once again as Hooksy on the drive-by sprays down 2, and Copenhagen Flames are too shy of picking up the first map.
Such an in-your-face defense coming out from Copenhagen Flames. They're not turtling back into the bomb side. They're forcing Spirit to battle out for every single inch of map control. Again, Roy being the hero there. After he gets a second kill, maybe sticks around a little bit too long considering he was running out of bullets, but full belief in the rest of his teammates who had arrived. And again, they don't wait for Spirit to, go for a play, maybe throw a couple of smokes or a flash and pop into the bomb site. They shut it down. Hooksy being, again, very proactive. The pistols come out once more for the side of Spirit. And Copenhagen Flames now 2 away from taking their map pick. Still though, there is a worry for the Flame side. The money is still in a very precarious position, Vince. So there is still a world. Unlikely, but there is still a world. Spirit can bring this one back. Break the economy, grind it back, maybe get to 13, 14, and from then on, the pressure is on for Copenhagen Flames to close it out. But right now, looking at the way Flames are playing, it is looking fantastic. It is looking clean, solid CD side, great rotations, great reads. A couple of whiff shots from Nikodov. I don't think he's really warmed up yet, in all honesty, because he's been hitting missing a couple of shots, which he usually would find in his sleep. But everyone else has really stepped up. Yabi getting one more kill to his name, 25. A team effort for the entire squad. The smoke will once more be deployed by the CTs. 40 seconds. They haven't found anything yet, Half Spirit.
Time beginning to be a bit of a problem. Hell of a 1D from Siren. He'll need another few of those if they want a chance into this round. They line up and Zyphon puts them in their grave. Beautiful spray. The Copenhagen Flames now have 5 map points. They are one step closer to securing playoffs.
The immediate reaction from Copenhagen Flames the moment Yabi gets taken down. The flashbang comes in a span of 2 seconds, and what a spray as well from Zyphon. The M4A1 is already a laser beam, but still impressive stuff. Yes, sure, it was against the Pistols, but we saw what Spirit could do with just a 1 deagle earlier at the beginning of the second half, so quickly swept aside. Copenhagen Flames, 5 map points to work with. This side has been fantastic for the Danes.
It has been a fortress, there's no doubts about that. Patsy, who's had a very quiet game by his own high standards, from what we've seen throughout this major so far, has at least struck in this, what could be the final round of Vertigo. Up to 14 kills. Huxi, we've seen a lot of impact from him on the wide swings. But he'll be having to play a little bit more passively this time, especially as they find themselves a player behind. Nikodos on side, gets Molotov out of position. He has to relocate back onto the site. And this is opening up a couple of avenues now that Spirit are looking to try and make something with. The slow peak, though, yields 1 frag. Nikodos out for another one. Locks down side, simultaneously pushing with the rest of his teammates, taking a stranglehold over the ramp. Switching to the AK, another spray from Nikodos, who's really coming alive now when it truly counts for his team. And that's the bomb that gets dropped alongside, and he's still making moves, he's still pincering in, still pivoting, he's hungry for more frags, he can sense the weakness, and with Huxi alongside him, this should be a done deal! Beautiful round for Nikodos, beautiful map and CT side for Copenhagen Flames, and they move 1-0 in the lead.
That was so well done from Nikodos, switching over to the AK-47 as well, ensuring, and keeps on pushing it. The fact that he walks down the scaffolding, there was no way they were expecting him, and even if he gets taken down, he'd done his job. Huge 4K there from Nikodos to close that map out. Copenhagen Flames, they looked pristine on that CD side fence, just dropped